Hello, and welcome to the intervention of Tevi in Motion. My name is Diane, and I am the virtual nurse who will guide you throughout this intervention, which is designed for couples living with a partner who has Parkinson's disease. You are going to often hear me say, couples living with Parkinson's, because even if one partner has the disease and the other does not, Parkinson's is experienced by the couple as a whole. The content of this intervention has been given a stamp of approval by couples living with Parkinson's and by health professionals, experts in the field such as doctors, nurses, and other healthcare specialists. It's based on the needs and preferences of couples who may have experienced situations similar to yours. The intervention Tevi in Motion contains different thematic sessions of 15 to 30 minutes, and they can be watched together and replayed as needed. We will work together to support whatever challenge you're facing that may be associated with Parkinson's, to meet and support your needs, to resolve the difficulties that may arise within your journey, and to use all the available resources that could help you maintain your quality of life together. Are you tempted by this program? All right, let's do it. In order to give you some tools, useful tips and strategies to meet your present and future needs, the intervention Tevi in Motion initially presents 7 basic sessions followed by other additional thematic sessions. In the first session, we will discuss challenges and experiences that may be encountered by couples living with Parkinson's disease. In session 2, we will see how to preserve your health for a better quality of life together. In session 3, I will help you and guide you to work as a team to face difficulties encountered. In session 4, we will explore your concerns, different types of needs, and the available resources to address them. In session 5, we will discuss the different strategies for a better communication as a couple, as well as with people close to you and health professionals. In session 6, we will see how to adjust to the role changes to help you take the necessary steps to enjoy life while living with Parkinson's. For the 7th session, we will review what has been seen throughout the basic sessions of Tevi in Motion to allow you to be confident in using your strength and life experiences to face future challenges that you might eventually encounter. I will invite you to consult the additional sessions according to your preferences. Throughout your journey with Tevi in Motion, you will learn various practical types of strategies, which you can try out between sessions. Maybe you are already using some of these helpful strategies. If so, I encourage you to continue what you are already doing if working well, and I also challenge you to try some new ones. The strategies presented during the different intervention sessions aim to improve your capacity to act together while living with Parkinson's. Of course, there are many other strategies that can facilitate your experience with this disease. This virtual nurse intervention is complementary or additional to the services offered by professionals from health and social services, and from healthcare organizations within your community. The intervention alone cannot meet all of your needs. nor replace a special bond that is well established between you and health professionals. However, we are hoping that this online intervention will provide you with useful information and practical strategies for dealing and solving many challenges associated with Parkinson's disease. Welcome to the first session of Tevi in Motion. On a daily basis, Parkinson's involves many challenges and life-altering changes for couples living with the disease. During this session, I invite you to recognize the main challenges that are associated with Parkinson's to better cope with the disease together as a couple. Here are some examples, drawn from experiences from other couples who may live a situation similar to yours. The examples will provide you with education on the disease and offer you supportive interventions to increase your skills and confidence in managing your health problems to facilitate your journey. In Canada, statistics show that close to 100,000 people and their loved ones are living with Parkinson's, of which about 25,000 are in Quebec. This neurological disease mainly affects people over the age of 65, and its development spans several decades. Overall, men are more likely than women to have Parkinson's disease. Over 90% of those affected live at home, the majority being retired, living as a couple, and being assisted by their spouse or life partner. Adult children and grandchildren sometimes live close by or live in different parts of the province, the country, or even the world, having them more present or absent in helping with care. It is also recognized that the majority of the care partners of those affected by Parkinson's are women. The time spent on care varies from person to person. However, as Parkinson's is a progressive disease, needs related to the disease will increase as time goes by, and care partner involvement will change along the way as more responsibilities will add. Parkinson's disease does not reduce life expectancy, but does affect physical health, emotional well-being, dynamic in a couple's relationship, and quality of life on a daily basis. As normal aging, many persons are affected by different physical health problems. In a couple, the health of one affected with a disease is closely associated to and often impacts the health of the spouse, or vice versa. Why making the importance of considering Parkinson's as a couple's affair? Couples also experience transition in their emotional well-being as well as in their conjugal functioning. Let us listen to these two couples, the Wilsons and the Joys, about what they have to say on this subject.
Well, among other things, and on top of the Parkinson's, I have problems with my blood pressure readings throughout the day. Like, sometimes they're high and sometimes they're low. I must be careful to prevent the risk of falls. And besides that, my wife is diabetic and she has heart problems.
We're far from having won the jackpot. We've got a lot of medications to take, And lately we've been using outside help like home services. It actually costs. But it's important for us because we want to live in our home for as long as possible.
Sometimes I'm a little embarrassed because of my illness. Also, I can't do quite as much as I used to. It tires me out to do things. I have less and less desire to leave the house, and that's a source of stress for our couple.
It's true that we feel a little left out. Sometimes we seem to be overwhelmed by many life events and the resulting changes. It worries me. We get out of the house less often.
I don't think we're the only ones finding it hard at times. How can we learn living from day to day and adjusting our pace to Parkinson's? We'd like to get some practical tips to go on with our lives as best as possible.
Based on the experiences of different couples, knowledge coming from the clinical and research-based data, there is not a unique portrait or a clear, coherent picture of the disease. But Parkinson's takes many faces for those couples living with it. Let's take a look at what those couples experience with this disease. After several years of working, parenting, educating, and caring for children, or supporting parents, colleagues, and friends, you had shared together happy retirement plans, projects, and dreams of aging together as a couple. However, the coming of Parkinson's thwarts your plans and upset your life upside down. Following the announcement of the diagnosis, and over the years, couples say they experience a series of adjustments, among others, in their lifestyle, their relationship, and communication between each other and with others. In general, some couples need to mobilize their resources to cope with the multiple changes related with Parkinson's. But some say that they do not feel comfortable asking for help or receiving help, negotiating in the midst of several requests, and sometimes of conflicting needs, dealing with those around them and health professionals, plus planning together for their future. According to different research, and based to the experience of many couples, Parkinson's can generate a series of changes, transitions, or mourning, particularly in terms of freedom, relationships with those around them, and previous roles with respect to the past. Parkinson's may limit your freedom to act spontaneously, to come and go freely, as individuals and as a couple. This quest for freedom, which is expressed as a wish by many couples like yours, refers to the importance of controlling its destiny in order to remain independent for a longer time. It is possible to pursue enriching activities, but this requires a different planning, a certain flexibility. It also requires giving yourself the tools you need to preserve your health and your quality of life as a couple, in addition to have to adjust to the gradual changes associated with Parkinson's. I invite you to listen to the story of Mrs. and Mr. Genty, who tell you how Parkinson changed their lives in terms of freedom.
Nothing is the same way as it was before, in anything at all. All things are upside down, in everything.
Yes, for sure. It's a life-changing experience because my husband, now that he has Parkinson's, can no longer do everything he did before. And even me, I can't do things as before.
It's true. Plus, we don't get younger. We each have health problems. It's hard to take, when you've always been both hard-working and busy.
Now, when we have an activity to do, we have to think about having enough energy to go do it and come back. This is how it is in everything we do.
Sometimes we would like to do more, to feel free to do what we did before under normal circumstances.
That's what we find most difficult with Parkinson's.
Also, several couples living with Parkinson's report feeling isolated at times. Or sometimes, they do report that Parkinson's has strengthened their ties or brought together new people within their inner circle of family and friends. Others point out how the disease is transforming their lives intimately and the way they interact with each other and with those around them, including health professionals. To them, it's essential to be connected in a relationship, to feel useful, to feel appreciated. Consequently, many of them say that they want to find practical strategies to limit the place that Parkinson's takes in their everyday life. I invite you to listen to the story of Mrs. and Mr. Roy, who explain how Parkinson's has changed their relationships with those around them.
Living with Parkinson's changes our network and of the people around us, such as members of the family, friends, our medical doctors, our pharmacist, etc.
The person with Parkinson's knows how it works, but for the partner and for the other people who don't have it, it's important to talk to them about it, to understand and to take part and to know what to do.
People who are informed, who know about Parkinson's, they know that it's not a dangerous disease, nor contagious. By learning about and understanding the disease, it becomes easier to be around it and for us not to feel isolated.
Parkinson's makes us do adjustments in our life to adapt better to the disease, as we still want to enjoy life at the most. We learn to put our cards on the table, honestly and truthfully. Some people move away, others get closer. Making other friends even after being diagnosed with Parkinson's is possible.
We can change in relation to the reaction from other people. We can be more self-affirming. At that very moment, it's like a plus for us, an advantage. Sometimes you gotta lose to win.
Other couples point out that the primary challenge with Parkinson's is to adjust to role changes. Although it is gradual, the transformation of each person's roles within the conjugal relationship is sometimes difficult and can raise a whole range of emotions, even in couples where there is openness, flexibility, and motivation to make the necessary adjustments. For couples living with Parkinson's, complicity and commitment are very much present, as to remain supportive of each other as well as with the family and those around them. Several couples report that it is essential to learn to cope with the role changes associated with the presence of the Parkinson disease. I invite you to listen to the story of Mrs. and Mr. Wilson, who tell you how Parkinson has changed their lives in terms of role changes.
To go ask for help to my wife, I find it a little hard. I wanted to be able to do everything on my own.
He didn't ask. Occasionally he even cursed because he was having trouble. I found it difficult. We wish to know what to do, how to prepare, and how to proceed. As much as he has to learn to ask for help, as much as it is for me to learn to give.
Life together as a couple, if you do not know how to work together, it leads to arguments.
When you know how to work together, you work twice as well and twice as fast. If we could have been shown this much earlier, it would have been really helpful.
To sum it up, changes resulting from the experience of Parkinson's in terms of freedom as a couple living together and with your previous roles, those are among the main challenges faced by many couples. Maintaining the health and the autonomy of each other, keeping a satisfying relationship, and gradually adjusting the role changes in the couple are the key components of a couple's relationships to facilitate transitions related to Parkinson's. Like these couples, have you experienced any transition at different levels of your life? Take some time to reflect together at the changes related to Parkinson's. Think about your freedom, your relations, and your roles. What are the significant transitions impacting your relationship? To help you in this process, consult and print the sheet about how to maintain a relationship as a couple with respect to the changes related to Parkinson's. To sum it up, Parkinson's and other health problems that affect both partners cause multiple transition and challenges for couples that overlap with those of aging. To maintain a quality of life for both, several couples propose to be better equipped. That is to say, to learn and try various strategies to meet the challenges that present themselves on the path of Parkinson's. Also, many couples living with Parkinson's do consider as top priorities needs such as being guided about how to maintain health, to resolve difficult situations, to support their needs, to communicate better, and to adjust to different types of role change. This is where the Tevi in motion intervention comes into play. Throughout the intervention sessions, you will be offered various ways to mobilize your forces to deal with these changes. We will have the opportunity to work together to develop useful tips and strategies to support both of you in these transitions. If you need immediate help, check out the resource sheet that you can print out under Resources. I encourage you to stay connected because the next session will focus on how to take care for your health and your quality of life together. See you soon.